The elderly lady's memorial photo holds a hidden mystery, but they only looked for the money and house papers. No one paid any attention to the photo. Only their neighbor noticed something was wrong. The woman saw the old lady in the memorial photo. Those eyes kept squinting at the ceiling, so the woman warmly reminded them, "What you are looking for may be up there." This son heard that and rushed to bring in a ladder, opened the ceiling vent to check, with a marble rolling down. Sure enough, he found his mother's bank book indeed. They were unaware of it. The reason why Annie could guess the location wasn't because of the old lady's gaze on the last photo, and more because of that marble. Because just now when she was getting ready for bed, suddenly a marble rolled out from under the bed. Puzzled, she turned on the light and looked under the bed, but she found nothing, just as she rolled the marble back the way it came. But a terrible scene happened. At this instant Annie sensed that something was wrong. Rushing towards the lady's house downstairs, it was not until she knocked on the door that she learned the old lady had died in the morning. Obviously, what she had just seen was the lady's spirit. However, it was also because of this. She was the one who helped them find the bank book. It turns out Annie had a special ability since she was a child. Her eyes could see people who passed away, but her family didn't believe it at all, and thought she had psychological problems. So they went around looking for a doctor for her, but she was never cured. Until this day, her family recognized Mike, a psychologist. Soon Annie was invited to Mike's home. Annie told him the story of the old lady, but Mike never believed in ghosts and spirits. He thought Annie had made it all up. So Annie had to tell the second story. It was Annie's birthday. After dinner she took the bus home. Because of the late hour, she was the only passenger left on the bus. But halfway there, the bus suddenly broke down. The lights kept flashing up. The driver couldn't fix it for half a day. Annie had to get off the bus and walk home. However, she just got off the bus, was squatting on a little girl tripped. Terrified, she quickly asked the little girl, "Are you okay?" Then asked the girl what she was doing here at night. The strange thing is that the little girl did not speak. Rather, she stared at her closely with her eyes. Just then the bus suddenly came. It turned out that the driver had fixed the bus. He wanted to give Annie a few more stops. Annie decisively refused the driver, but when she turned around she realized the little girl from earlier was gone. But when the bus left, the little girl was already sitting on the bus, and pointed her finger to the license plate number. Just like that, Annie subconsciously memorized it in her mind. However, just as she was chasing the bus, but suddenly saw the notices all over the wall. That was the news story on the girl's crash, and the hit-and-run driver had fled. Obviously, the girl she had just seen was already dead. The girl pointed her finger at the license plate. It was to let Annie help her call the police. The bus driver was the hit-and-run driver. That's all. Annie then anonymously called the tip line, and successfully arrested that driver.